working here. I don't love that you can see this up here, but nobody make fun of me for it. PLZ. PLZ. Alright. Loading up my monitor. Well, now it's only a chunk of the screen. Is that? That's not how it's supposed to be popping up. Feels a little glitchy to me. Like that echo. That's how you get feedback. Let's not fuck with it. I don't know why the screen's that way, but I've tried any times to try to fix it. And it's not working. When I turn it horizontally, it starts up over on this side. In any case, let me know if it's too much for you. If you're bothered by it, we'll address that. So today I want to go over Ian Edwards' special that came out like 2 months ago. He was a guest on Kill Tony last night. I didn't know about this special. I know next to nothing about this comedian. I know that he came up in the Comedy Store right around the Tony Hinchcliffe era. Apparently they used to pair them up like 10:15 and 10:30 slot, as old man Hinchcliffe said. So, pulling up his bio real quick. By the way, I'm not going to have it up on screen or anything. I'll be working on that. This is the first go at it, as you can tell by my quarter width screen. But you'll be able to hear it. I got my studio monitors. Let me know if you need me to adjust anything. Ian Edwards' bio. Born in England and raised in Jamaica, which is something I did not know. He was raised in Jamaica and New York City, which I guess explains kind of the New Yorker-esque accent. Ian Edwards is a stand-up comedian, writer, producer, actor, and podcaster. Ian is currently a co-executive producer of the upcoming Netflix series Survival of the Thickest. Pulling up his IMDb just to go over a couple of things, get some tantalization going, build pressure, if you will. He has done, let's see, he's known for Tangerine, which I guess is a movie that came out in 2015. He was also in Black Dynamite, which was a TV series that I'm sure fucking rules. The Last OG in 2021, and of course Survival of the Thickest, which I guess is on Netflix, and maybe we'll check that out on the show. Let me know if that's something you want to see. But with hopefully little other ado, let's jump into this whole stand-up special of his. It came out 2 months ago. Apparently it's called Untitled. And then, okay, so the title of this is Ian Edwards, Untitled. And then like the separation line, and then it says, the comedy special you didn't know you needed. Which is apparently true. I was not aware of that. The description says, Untitled is Ian Edwards at his sharpest, taking on everything from gender reveals and Michael Jackson to racism in tech, missing submarines, and why hotels will never be shit. Filmed with raw honesty and amazing timing. This is his channel, by the way. That's a funny start. Filmed with raw honesty and amazing timing, this special proves why Ian has one of the most respected voices in stand-up for decades. Watch as he breaks down relationships, cheating, airlines, ghosting, reincarnation, and even The Handmaid's Tale, which is, of course, highly relevant these days. With the fearless comedy only Ian can deliver. Why I'm stoked? Let's have a look.
Why do pregnant couples have gender reveal parties?
Sorry, gotta stop already. Fuck. So this is already a hack concept, in my opinion. I am not a stand-up comedian. I'm a writer. I usually focus on the writing aspects of things, but I do spend a lot of time watching comedy podcasts and a lot of stand-up comedies. So I have a vague grasp on comedy culture. And my God, trans jokes, non-binary jokes, like all this shit it's so hack now. And it's we're kind of right past that era where for a while it was edgy. So in some circles you could score like points for being like, trans people, am I right? Stavros Halkias calls it Austin brain. I don't know what his take on it is going to be. I just immediately, to start the whole thing off this way, I don't love it, but we'll see. Maybe other people are super into it.
Why do pregnant couples have gender reveal parties when they don't know what gender their kid is going to claim?
What if they claim that they're an attack helicopter, right? Because people could be anything these days. Yeah, applause break. What's with that? Crazy gender stuff. It is almost 2026, people.
Just saying.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not, like, putting it out there one way or the other, like, oh, that's offensive, or, oh, that's blah, blah, blah. It's just hack. It's just tired. It's a concept we've heard a lot about. Let's see what his take is.
Why don't they just wait a few birthdays?
Someone in the crowd loved that. Yeah! Wait a couple of birthdays.
And let the kid tell them. And then they can still have the party and be right about that shit.
It's a really strange angle I was not expecting him to take. It just feels like a meme or maybe a piece of advice you would have seen on Facebook in 2018.
Like, what if you're wrong? And you don't burn down half of California. With the wrong color smoke, you know what I'm saying?
So I think that's obviously in reference to maybe some of the California wildfires. I gotta be careful about that. California wildfires were, I guess, started by a gender reveal party. I have no idea. Which, again, is flawed in its presentation because it seems like pretty niche LA humor. I don't know where this was shot. Written and performed by Ian Edwards. Directed and edited by Jason Katz. He's a name. I think he has like a show. Or am I thinking Louis Katz? These Katz family. The Katz clan is out here. This guy from where? Does it say the Comedy Store right behind him? Okay, is it the Comedy Store? So it makes sense. This is like, you know, appealing to your, playing to your local crowd here.
What? Like, what if you're wrong and now you got all this footage of this party for your child that you could never show your child? And you gotta tell everybody who was at the party, don't you ever mention this fucking party to our goddamn child. You hear me, Grandma?
Boy, this crowd loves him. He's like, you hear me, Grandma? I guess that was a subversion of expectation. I don't know, maybe he's just kind of got a bit of a droll style. It's interesting because it feels like this is a cold open. They might go into some kind of credits or intro. I am usually a proponent for not having like a long, weird, exorbitant intro where you follow them from like they're eating at a diner and it's black and white and shot at a Dutch angle, and you watch them cross the street, wave to some fans who are waiting in line, and see them come through the back door and then the kitchen because we're really seeing like there's some of them are so long, seriously, like up to like 5 minutes. Some of them have songs. I've never been a fan of them. I mean, since the 2000s, where like Comedy Central, because I think it might be a Comedy Central special thing. I'm not well informed enough on like comedy special history, but I've just never been a fan of that. However, there's got to be a bit of a middle ground between like way too long intro and this, where it's just like, so you know trans people? Like, and he's not taking like a corrosive take in any way. I mean, if anything, it lacks any kind of edge or personality at all. It's just like feels like a driving question. You're like, hey, if people can determine their own genders, what about, like, it's, I don't know, seems kind of surface level, but Maybe he's going to use it to crack into something that's a little bit more exploratory. Explorative?
You know, kids, they tech savvy one time. You know, they're going to find the footage sooner or later. Mom, Dad, get in here. What the fuck is this? That smoke ain't me. Can't believe you wasted all this money on this party when I need that money for my operation. To be who I really want to be.
Who is this for? I don't know. Maybe I'm in a mood because I'm in vertical video and you can see my top of my wall back there. But that's so weird. It's such a weirdly vanilla take. I don't know. Let's see what he gets into.
All I'm saying is, if you're a dad and you always wanted a son and the smoke is pink, don't give up.
That's funny. Again, I mean, the dead horse is so beaten, but that's a funny take, you know. If you wanted your kid to be, well, don't lose hope. Again, good subversion of expectation. It's just kind of like didn't expect that to come out, but, you know, it's his opening joke. He was just demonstrating his personality. Holy shit. Wish you could see this. There's a stained glass fixture in the Comedy store I was not aware of. No one's ever really brought it up for some reason. I blame AI. It's some caffeine in my bones.
Shit could still go in your favor, you know what I'm saying?
It wasn't cold open, so now we're doing an intro. Let's see how he does it. Everybody! Not a fucking strong joke for a cold intro. I feel like YouTube kind of really helped like usher that in, because it's way more common to see a cold open like that in a terrible shot in a YouTube video versus like a comedy special. It's very much kind of borrowing from that style of video making. But in those cold opens, which, by the way, largely a lot of creators do, I don't probably have to tell you that it's kind of become passé at this point. It's a very, like, last few years thing. But what they would do is they take, like, the most juicy part, you know, like, kind of a almost clickbait moment, and they'd show you that at the very beginning, and then they would do their intro, and then eventually you would work up to it organically, like, through the content. Give me a second. This is soap. Anyway, so it's weird because they kind of borrowed that style from like YouTube creators, but also that was not a strong enough joke. Like, that joke doesn't make me want to like pour through this tome. I'm not super curious about what his other thoughts are on modern issues. Anyway, going back 5 seconds, let's jump into this thing.
But you know what I'm saying?
Ian Edwards, everybody!
Pretty straightforward. It's just him walking through the crowd. Kind of like wavy, like early 2000s, like very AV Club visuals on this. It's like wavy, Untitled. By the way, calling something Untitled sucks. It's lazy. It's not avant-garde. You don't come off mysterious. You come off like you don't care in the wrong way. Or, moreover, not even that you don't care. Like, you weren't able, like, your brain couldn't grasp, couldn't approach the situation titularly. like, oh, it's Untitled because I'm like grunge. I'm Cobain. I'm very Cobain about this. Okay, so we're starting again. Now it's his first joke. Not a fan of the cold open, dude. Not a fan of the cold open. At least not this one. Again, show me a joke that like makes me guffaw.
I watch a lot of TV, And let me just say this.
Clunky jump in. It doesn't seem like there was no, hey, what's going on? Which means it's probably not his first joke. It's an editing thing. It's fine. You lose an organic touch. God, I've watched a lot of these. But you lose an organic feeling. At least have your first thing. You're like, what's up? Introduction and kind of like first premise down a little bit. Because jumping right into it, just feels so clunky. Especially because it's like cold open, haphazard intro, zero greeting for the crowd, right into his first joke. It just feels like a compilation or like a highlight reel.
If you have seen I watch a lot of TV.
You watch a lot of TV.
And let me just say this. If you have seen the Michael Jackson documentary on HBO and you still listen to his music, you are a piece of shit.
I haven't seen the documentary. I imagine he's going to tell me. But also, I don't really listen to Michael Jackson's music.
Straight trash. Now, I, on the other hand, have not seen the documentary.
That's funny. That's funny.
So I can listen to his music guilt-free.
Is that what was in that documentary? Let me know, chat or comments if you've seen it. Because I know there was all the craziness, but again, this was back in the day where when this scandal was breaking, we didn't really have. I mean, I'm sure there were websites because this would have been 2005 or 6. So there were websites and probably chat rooms about it, forums and the like. But largely it was you'd get your news from traditional news channels for all you Zoomers out there that don't remember what it was like.
Y'all fucked up. Y'all fucked up. I found a loophole. Michael Jackson for life, baby. Yeah. I even canceled my HBO subscription just so I don't stumble across that shit on accident.
You could tell that he was born in England because he says H instead of H. Fun British facts, Brev.
Sorry, y'all. I was raised on Michael Jackson and I heard he ruined those kids' childhood. I ain't gonna watch that shit, having ruined mine.
Really funny. I guess there's a renewed relevance because apparently this documentary had just come out. I hope. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt on that. I guess I've heard it brought up on podcasts and stuff, but you want to talk about something that's been poured over for 20 fucking years. There's a comparable, relevance time frame for, OJ jokes. Pretty much OJ jokes pass the baton to, Michael Jackson jokes. As far as, I don't care, I was a huge fan, what he did or what he didn't do. So anyway, this is just really old and weird. But I guess I hated it when he talked about, contemporary trans things, too. So, how will you make me happy?
The vicious cycle ends here. Also, watch Handmaid's Tale. Any Handmaid's Tale fans in the house?
All right, I'm going to Google this because I'm curious. Motherfucking Handmaid's Tale. Handmaid's Tale came out in 2017. Maybe that was the first season. I honestly thought it was a movie. Okay, so it ran through 2025. It's a chilling and gripping series set in a dystopian world where the USA is transformed into a class-based society with emphasis on the fertile, ... I don't care enough to read more. I guess it makes more sense, I guess, as far as renewed relevance is concerned, every time a series puts out a new season. If you talked about Survivor, I'd be stoked, even though it came out in 2000. Also, I just love Survivor.
It's definitely a white woman show. It's based on a book written in 1984, fictional story set in a dystopian future. where a totalitarian government enslaves all America. And then we have our hero. Her name is June Osborne. She rescues 75 people and then stays behind. Then she escapes.
A lot of homework on this
Comes
one.
back and rescues 25 people. Then I was talking to...
So there were 75 people. So she saved 75 people, and then she went back, and now there's 25 people. Come on, Ian.
Osborne. She rescues 75 people and then stays behind. Then she escapes, comes back, and rescues 25 people. Then I was talking to the homie, and I was like, wait a minute. This is the Harriet Tubman story. It's like the producers moved slavery to the future and then made white women the heroes of this shit.
Okay, well, for funsies. Harriet Tubman's story. This is an AI overview, so this might be crazy. If it were Grok, we may have some problems. But it's not. It's Google AI. Harriet Tubman was an American abolitionist and humanitarian born into slavery around 1822. After escaping to freedom in 1849, she repeatedly risked her life to guide hundreds of enslaved people to freedom via the Underground Railroad. Earning the nickname Moses, she later served in the Union Army as a nurse, scout, and a spy. That part's sweet. They don't really talk about that part. She was in the Union? Very well. Okay, so yeah, I guess she escapes and then she gets some people out. Yeah, that's Harriet Tubman-esque. Tubmanian.
Which is fucked up, you know what I'm saying? Because black people, we didn't want slavery, but now you can't steal it from us.
That's funny.
And then charge us money to watch it on Hulu.
By the way, Hulu's going away, apparently. Apparently they're dissolving Hulu. I got a notification on the Disney thing. Disney ate it.
Now we gotta pay for this shit twice. Now you can't even make the Harriet Tubman story because everybody's gonna be like, hey man, that's Handmaid's Tale. Can't believe these black people are culturally appropriating from us. This is our shit. This is fucked up. I got a real dilemma though. I got a homie who's a black albino. Yeah.
That was a hell of a dog leg. I guess because there's like cultural appropriation, like race-based stuff, there's a little transition there, but that was a little jarring. I don't know. Maybe I just don't vibe super well with Ian Edwards. It's not that I dislike him at all. He said some funny things, you know, when he's guest starring on Kill Tony, but I don't know. This just really isn't clicking with me. It seems like it's half cooked or hollow somehow. I don't know.
And he says the N-word. A lot. And my question is, how do I know this dude is really black? Like I know he's albino, but I gotta take his word for it about whatever race he tells me he is. And every time he says that shit, I'll be looking at his blonde hair and freckles, and I'll be thinking, should he be saying this shit?
That is what you just said. I have an albino friend, and I have to take his word for the fact that he says he's black. He says the N-word. But when he says the N-word, and he has that blonde hair, and those freckles, and that white skin, and he says that shit, I don't know if I'm comfortable with him saying the N-word. I don't know. Again, writing-wise, it's just there's a lot of wasted ink.
Then one day, he was like, I'm gonna invite my sister to one of your shows. I was like, bet. Because I know, as soon as I see his sister, I'll know exactly what race he is. She shows up, this chick, albino too. And she says the N-word more than he does. Now, as a black man, I gotta get to the bottom of this shit.
I guess I think I got a little bit closer to getting my finger on what bothers me about his delivery. Excuse me, OJ. It's not that I don't believe that he wrote this. It's that something about his cadence and his tone and his pacing makes it seem like somebody else wrote it for him. Like he's like kind of almost half swinging. I think that's what I mean when I say it's like seems half cooked or kind of hollow. Or like, I don't know. He doesn't seem comfortable with the material. It's polished. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's clearly he's gone over it before. It's not like this is new material. I would argue it's probably quite dated, but yeah, there's just something in his like, I don't know. I'll see if I can pinpoint it, but something in that last line kind of.
And she says the N-word more than he does.
See, like, and he says the N-word more than she, or she says the N-word more than he does. Like, it's like he's reading a post where there was an exclamation point, and he, like, wanted to acknowledge that, but didn't really, like, I don't know, it's, like, half-hearted. And maybe that's stylistic, but let's get back to Black Albino.
Now, as a black man, I gotta get to the bottom of this shit. Because there's no free niggas on my watch.
It feels like a Twitter post. Feels like a tweet. An X post. Like, as a black man, I need to get to the bottom of this new line. Like, it's just...
So I start dating her, right?
I'll say this, right now I'm not into this particular joke, so I start dating her, right? Because it's like, whoa, crazy twist. But I'll say this, he may be leveraging the introduction of this character into a greater tale that'll come up more frequently throughout the special. As of right now, I believe, what I think he's going to do is probably be like, so I started dating her, and then at the end of this joke, at the end of this premise or whatever, he'll move on to the next thing entirely, just if I'm going off of the precedent he's set from, like, his first joke into his second. There wasn't really a transition. This, not really a theme, other than, like, yeah, I guess cultural appropriation and Harriet Tubman, you know, it's, like, vaguely racially related, but hopefully, I mean, in a perfect world, I believe that that's what he'd be doing, is setting up the introduction of this character so that he has her in his roster for storytelling. Like, oh, this, and then my albino friend, or my albino ex, or whatever. We'll see.
What?
But again, right now, this is crucial Act 1 territory. Like, this is the time for introducing yourself as a narrator, introducing your cast for, like, who you're going to be telling your stories about, or your story about, and introducing, I guess, like, your own tonality. It's just not, I'm not seeing a through line, but let's get to the end of Black Albino. All of his jokes are named in the timeline, or whatever you'd call this right here below. They're all broken into sections, which is helpful, but super weird.
Because if it goes well, I get to meet their parents.
Okay, I'll go back. So he started dating his sister.
What? Because if it goes well, I get to meet their parents. And once I see them, I'll know what's up. So we're getting married Friday.
afraid that that was, again, just a little bit of like a rug pull joke where it's like, you weren't expecting that. We're getting married on Friday. But maybe it's his real-ass fiance, and this is just his funny way of introducing her as a character, as I was saying. Because if all of that walk was for that, this does not bode well. We're on joke 2. How many minutes? We're 30 minutes in. We're 30 minutes into my coverage and 7 minutes and 51 seconds into the material we are reviewing. So pretty much on point. What I hope to eventually establish as being on brand.
My real girlfriend's pissed I'm marrying an albino. I'm like, boo, I'm doing this for us. This is a matter of black national security. You know what? You keep tripping like that, you ain't invited to the wedding no more.
Pretty funny.
I don't mind traveling. The only thing I don't like about traveling...
Immediately transitions into fucking... I don't want to spoil it, but the timeline showed me what this is. Now, we do a multiple choice. Let's get a multiple choice on the screen here. Lol. Do you think he's going to talk about taking long walks? Do you think he's going to talk about Waymos? Or do you think that this comedian, who's already been introducing some fairly played out premises, is going to talk about airplanes?
One thing I don't like about anything is getting ripped off. And that's traveling is one place where they really rip you off. You know what I'm saying? The other day I bought a plane ticket, and after I bought the ticket, the computer was like, would you like to purchase a seat? I was like, what the fuck did I just buy?
Semantics, am I right?
The seats don't come with the tickets no more? I gotta spend $30 extra just to sit? Like, what if I don't purchase a seat? Do I have to stand up on the plane?
I don't need to be like a hole poker, but I don't fly often, and I'm pretty sure just with basic deductive logic that, like, you're purchasing, like, an assigned seat. I think when you just get a ticket, it's probably... But again, semantics, get it? Because technically...
Am I the only one here that didn't purchase a seat? Am I amongst a bunch of loyal seat purchasers? Airlines ain't shit, man. They charge us for luggage. Luggage. From the beginning of time when man traveled, they've always...
See what I mean? Like, it's just so kind of blasé. It's like, airlines suck, man. They charge us for luggage. Luggage. It seems like someone who's got a lot punchier of a personality wrote some of these. Like, airlines suck, man. They charge us for luggage. Luggage! Like, but that's not... They charge us for luggage. Luggage.
always taking their shit with luggage. From the beginning of time when man traveled, they've always taken their shit with them. Airlines act like this some new shit. They see you coming with your bag. This motherfucker brought a bag. Where you going with that, sir?
So I'm addressed it on the YouTube channel, but this is pretty basic, like 101. You know, it's hack for comedians to talk about airplanes. And you can break it down in a very simple way. Comedians write what they know. You know, they're probably because they do so much traveling, they spend so much time on the road. All that's happening, that lovely battalion, cool name. Not interested in the viewers, but anything helps in the chat, so thank you much. So, my train of thought. I gotta get better at that.
Going with that, sir?
Right, so comedians travel a lot, obviously, for their jobs, and they write what they know, they write what they see. and they spend a lot of time in airports. I gotta go farther this way. I just checked the monitor. Yeah, apparently I do. You know what? I'm just gonna turn it a little more like this. That's the way it is. Okay. Anyway. And so all comedians tend to arrive at like this same subject matter. I mean, genuinely, I think Joe DeRosa's I Didn't Promise You a Rose Garden, I think he managed to avoid doing it, which is probably part of what makes it one of my favorite comedy specials ever. It's kind of the gold standard. I'll probably do that one. Maybe next. I'm enjoying this. Pretty casual, keeping it chill. Got spam pitched for some bot viewers, so that's pretty standard. Getting their shit together here. Anyway, so let's get back to him talking about fucking luggage.
This is a plane, asshole. It's like, who's traveling without luggage? What am I, a terrorist? If you ain't got no luggage, they should charge you extra. You know what I'm saying? Because that means you up to some shit. If you got luggage, you're good. Who's blowing up their own clothes? Why are they charging good people more and terrorists less?
I mean, yeah, I guess probably still a thing, you know? The whole terrorists thing. Again, but it's just as far as played out concepts are concerned, like, we're doing Homeland Security bits? We're doing...
Fuck it, give me the terrorist rate. I'll blow some shit up to fly cheaper. Now I gotta pay for my bag, but a service animal can get on the flight for free. Which one belongs on the plane more? The dog or the bag? It's a room full of mostly white people and nobody responded.
That's fair.
So I'm assuming you wanted to say dog, you know, because nobody yelled out bag, which would have... I ain't even mad at y'all. That's why I tell them, this is my service animal bag. This is my emotional support luggage. You know what I'm saying? Because I get anxious when I land in another country.
Okay. I've been kind of adjusting this, as you can see, just trying to center myself in this weird, non-centered frame. Ideally, this will be better in the future. I left that playing for longer than I intended, but there's not really much to say about that. Like, okay, yeah, service animals, isn't that wild? That thing that we've been doing as a culture for a very long time, just a wild, wild concept. I mean, I hate coming off so underwhelmed about all of it, but it's like Ian Edwards is just not ringing my bells right now. But we're about a quarter of the way through this thing, so we'll keep on trucking. Maybe he's about to dazzle us. There could still be a point this could still be a nebulous kind of introduction to an Act 1 structure, an Act 1 and a 3 or 4 act structure, you know? Maybe it's going to be like, his closing joke is going to be like, then I saw this service animal who was acting like Harriet Tubman and also a trans dog. I don't know. Albino trans dog.
I don't have any clothes to put on. Because I get anxious when I land in another country. I don't have any clothes to put on. This shit calms me the fuck down.
I mean, again, like how many this is my emotional support blank jokes have we heard over the years? I'm trying to, I can't pin it. Feels like a very Brickleberry type joke, which is not a compliment.
You ever land somewhere and they lose your luggage? What's a dog gonna do then?
Probably its job, taking care of the person that paid to bring the dog with them. It's just so unfair to be so literal with, premises and stuff. But my God, man, I'm having a hard time swallowing this egg.
Can't put that marker on? Hey, come on, Fluffy. I guess I'm gonna have to wear you to the club tonight. Hope they let me in with these Chihuahua shorts.
Boy, there's some imagery.
Some restaurants ain't shit. Let me just put this out there.
Now we're on restaurants, literally just thought after thought after thought after thought, which in 2025 won't lie is often what they call a special. But you know whose special is better than this? And a lot of people don't agree. Brian Callen's special. That one we might do soon as well, because I was writing a script on it, and I don't know, I think I like the live format of doing, like, especially reviewing stand-up comedy specials. If I'm doing something that's like a podcast or someone said one thing, then, if it's highly focused, like more of like a red bar scope of something, like a moment that I noticed, then I don't mind scripting it, and I don't really have the tech or know-how to do it on a live stream right now. But as I'm hopefully proving today, albeit a little shoddy, reviewing stand-up specials live is a lot of fun for me. Hopefully, I will continue to improve the quality. I don't want to make any promises, because I have been a liar. I've been made a liar by the internet before. But Brian Callen, in terms of a cohesive piece of writing, Brian Callen blows Ian Edwards' special out of the water. This is just a list of thoughts he had. This is toilet thoughts. I was number twoing, and whilst I did, this is what I was doing. Thank you.
If you run a restaurant that closes at 10, just close that shit at 9. Because when I get there at 9, you're going to act like I showed up at 10. And I'm out of my mind for trying to order some food. You ever get to a restaurant one?
Again, these are all... I feel like, there's a line between, hey, I've had that thought too. Wow, this is a cool human experience I'm having, and the reason I love to go see stand-up comedy, see what these modern-day philosophers are, see how they're interpreting the things we all go through. That's on one side. And on the other side is, yeah, no shit. We've all thought that. That's something we've all, like, service animals on a plane, but I gotta pay for my luggage. I can't keep my clothes in a dog. They're all these are like more pedestrian thoughts than like universally relatable, in my opinion. This whole thing where it's like, oh, the gender reveal. Well, if they doesn't know, if everyone determines their gender, then, well, how do you know what your baby is? It's just like, yeah, actually, there were people making that point quite legitimately, like, non-ironically, so it's weird that, like, that's, I guess, kind of out of touch. Again, all this just feels very surface level to me.
Order some food.
All right, yeah. Oh, you know how when you walk in and service industry people have had a long-ass day and you come in half an hour before they close? It's like, yep, I don't know. Again, just shit, we've all had that thought. I don't think that it's like, whoa, cool take on that thing. It's like, yeah, noticed that too.
You ever get to a restaurant 1 hour before they close? That shit is closed.
Again, he just completely repeated the joke. Going back.
Run a restaurant that closes at 10. Let me just put this out there.
Here it is.
If you run a restaurant that closes at 10, just close that shit at 9. Because when I get there at 9, you're going to act like I showed up at 10.
Now, will you please summarize that for me again in almost identical phrasing?
And I'm out of my mind for trying to order some food. You ever get to a restaurant 1 hour before they close? That shit is closed.
Same exact thought. Like, I guess he's restating it for the people in the back one more time.
They serving you food right out the trash. Oh, you here 1 hour before we close, huh? You right on time for the fresh trash.
Doesn't he feel like nervous or something? It's just, he's got, maybe it's like on Ambien or Zoloft or some shit. He just does not feel present to me.
We threw this shit in here because we didn't think anybody was stupid enough to not know that 10 means 9, motherfucker.
I know you can't see it, but seriously, just like the look in his eyes, like, do not know that 10 means 9, motherfucker. Like, it's just I don't know if his jokes, I don't mind his personality, you know, in concept, like, but he's got like these rant style jokes that just do not have the gas behind him with the way he's speaking. It's just very, very ambient, very Xanax. It's like hanging out with someone on Xanax. It's like, yeah, man. You notice that, motherfucker? It's just like, there's a clash happening. Maybe he was going for juxtaposition of like, I say annoyed things in like a very chill voice, but it just comes off contradictory.
You ever get to a restaurant 1 hour before they close? They treat you like an employee.
This is still going. I didn't start the joke again.
What do you mean clean out my locker? I don't work here.
Never worked in a restaurant where we had lockers. I've never worked anywhere where we had lockers. At all. I don't know where.
I've been treated better by racist cops than by the employees of a restaurant that got 1 hour left to close. They were putting chairs on my table in the middle of the meal. Like, we standing outside, this is a food truck.
I hate to say this, so I won't. But also, like, I have been that guy. You know, 1 hour before close feels like an exaggeration, but you get people that come in 20 minutes before close, and they're like, "There's 6 of us." It's like, we don't own the restaurant. It's not. We don't care that the restaurant is gonna make 6 people's meals worth of money now. It's just like, fuck. Because now I gotta wait for you to finish up, take your sweet time well after close, because we can't kick you out according to our policy. Like, I've been on the other side of that. I get that, like, oh, that's annoying, but, like, also, I don't know, don't be so fucking sensitive. If you're just gonna go, if you're not gonna, you can't claim empathy and also be wildly insensitive to the things you feel. Otherwise, you're gonna continue to have these weird non-points that crop up in your head. Hey, I mean, I thought they were open till 10. Now they're putting up the chairs on the tables around me. The closed sign is on the door. I don't know. Again, I hate to be so literal about this, but there's just really nothing, writing-wise, there's just nothing really to dive into. I can't can't really explore his approach to the written word because most of it's just like, hey, man, you know what I thought of the other day?
They blew out the candle on my table. I'm like, you just lit this bitch. What the fuck is... You want me gone so bad, you mop.
He's like standing, he's got his fists like kind of clenched. It's like he's been doing this for, if he was with Tony Hinchcliffe, it means he's been doing it for 20 years, 15 years or something. Like, and he's just really, you just pick it up on him. He does not feel comfortable in this material or on that stage or doing this act at all. It just seems like something that he kind of got made to do. It seems like someone who's just starting who has talent, not somebody who's considered to be what the voice of a generation was it? Was it in his bio? Whatever. One of the most distinguished voices in comedy of his generation.
Up in the parking lot floor, fam.
I like Ian Edwards. I want to say it again. I'm not trying to shit on the guy. I just like, this is terrible. This is not interesting. Not even like as because again, I try not to be like, this isn't funny, because that's completely subjective, and I hear that thrown around a lot. I've probably even thrown it around before in my essays. But what I've learned to try to focus on is one of my own passions, which again is writing and storycraft, and it's so interesting to see something like this where I feel so strongly that this isn't funny. There clearly are people who think it's funny. You can hear them, they're laughing. He has his crowd. I don't hate Ian Edwards, but this particular piece as a piece of art is, in my opinion, universally boring. I don't see any, compared to what his peers are putting out, compared to what I would argue are a little bit his betters are putting out. Not betters as people, betters as crafters of stand-up specials, then it doesn't hold up at all. And some comedians just aren't that way. Like, Bobby Lee's a great example. Love his podcast. Think he's very funny. I'll watch pretty much anything. I don't really like Tiger Belly, but I'll watch anything he like guest stars in. I like Bobby Lee. He's working on his first special ever, like legendarily working on this first special, which we'll definitely go over. Hey, how are you? What's happening, Olivia? Just doing some Ian Edwards review of his stand-up special right now. Finding many of his takes to be pedestrian at best.
There should be a sign on the...
How are you doing? Sorry, I'm all wrapped up in this.
Menu of any restaurant that closes at 10 that says any meal served after 9 will be served with...
Chilling right on. So we're in the middle of this restaurants bit. Nothing to write home about.
There should be a sign on the menu of any restaurant that closes at 10 that says any meal served after 9 will be served with a side of disrespect.
Served with a side of disrespect is funny phrasing, but day is going well. Having a little bit of trouble getting the stream looking pretty, as you can probably see on your screen. But yeah, it's been good. So,
after 9, will be served with a side of disrespect.
Served with a side of disrespect. Again, that's funny phrasing. Like a lot of his writing, I don't see it connecting to other pieces at all. Served with a side of disrespect is like, yeah, it's good. Again, you can tell you can tell there's thought put into that. You can tell that somebody took the time to write that down. Streaming nice to you. Oh, that's awesome news. My monitor shows me like just a chunk of the screen. So this is my first stream for this show. It is indeed. I am quite inexperienced, but having a good time. Been trying to come up with a format for a while. I almost wish I would have picked a better special to be my first like grand unraveling, my grand opening, but what are you gonna do? I hadn't seen the special at all. I'm doing the first time review. Play games? Not video games or board games. Mind games.
that says any meal served after 9 will be served with a side of disrespect.
Would have been a good title for his stream. Just throwing that out there. Instead of fucking Untitled. It's an insult.
Also want to give a special fuck you to the restaurants that say they...
Olivia Ben. Oh, sweet. Right on. Welcome. You are, I believe, my first. So that's cool. Very, very glad to have you in the community. To be.
They close at 11. And then when you get there and you try to order, they're like, I'm sorry, the kitchen closed at 10:30. So then the restaurant is closed at 10:30, motherfucker. This is just a digestion area right now.
Digestion area is funny. I'm from the Midwest originally. Now I'm living down south, the American South. So still doing restaurant stuff here. Ian Edwards, he's really, really caught up on all that. Nice place. It is indeed, especially this time of year. I come from a place where it is mighty snowy. Down here, I don't have to worry about that so much.
You don't need to be open for that. Hotels ain't shit.
Didn't he already do hotels ain't shit? Oh, that must have been in the cold open.
Won't let you check in
Cool suggestions for the channel. Right on, Olivia. Hit me with it.
till 3. 3. Whole day's gone. I landed at 10 a.m. Now I'm homeless.
It's a funny thought. It's a very funny thought. Again, joke-wise, it's not just a premise, so I don't want to make that, I don't want to make that accusation, but it is kind of just a thought. It's just sort of, LOL, this is what I react. This is how I reacted to this thing. Intro and outro. Eventually, I'll definitely be looking for ways to improve the channel for sure. And yeah, you can go ahead and put something in the chat. I don't know if it lets you do links, but you can get like clever with it or whatever. Throw that in the chat, and we'll check it out for sure. I do have a Discord. Yeah, here, I'll just put it. Boom, pat. That's my Discord. Feel free to add me and send me a link to your stuff. I'm going to jump back into this thing here. Because we have to find out why Ian Edwards thinks that hotels ain't shit. The hell is this clapter for? Oh, because now I'm homeless. Because I booked a hotel at 3 and I got there at 10, so now I have nowhere to go. Pretty funny.
In the same city, I got a hotel room in. I'm fucking homeless. Now I'm standing outside the hotel with all my bags.
Try putting an underscore between the two. And if it doesn't work after that, I do not know. If you want to put yours in there, I can add you that way, but I'll have to wait till after the stream. Try Han underscore Blackheart. That could work. Hopefully it'll work. We'll figure it out. Thanks again for the follow. I appreciate you.
And people are walking by, put money in my Starbucks cup. And the lady that won't let me check in is like, sir, you can't panhandle in front of our hotel. And let me in, motherfucker. motherfucker. It's a good thing I got my emotional support luggage.
Emotional support luggage, we got a callback. He's built something. It's not great. It's threadbare, but it exists. Dang it all. Send a friend request. Sweet. Yeah, I'll definitely add you, and then we can rendezvous from there. I can see some of your work and get some of your suggestions. I appreciate the follow and I appreciate the help. So anyway, Ian Edwards pulled off a callback. We now have a cohesive piece of writing that has glided from one premise to the next. There have been very few zero transitions. It's literally like he'll finish a thought and be like, so hotels fucking suck. Which is fine, stylistically, if that's how you do it. But at least we know that this was all recorded the same night. It's all one piece of writing. It's not great. The connective tissue isn't secure, but it exists. We know it's there.
What is this random inconvenient 3 p.m. check-in time? Like, what is that shit? You're a major hotel chain in a major city. You know flights land in the morning. You ever ask them for early check-in? They're like, sorry, sir, we're cleaning all the rooms. Really? That's weird. Because when I'm asleep at 6 a.m., some maid buses in. And starts cleaning around me.
See, all of this feels like an argument like I had at like a customer service desk or something, where he's making like lodging legitimate complaints and kind of just saying them into a microphone. There's not even really much of like a jokey cadence to it. He's just like making points against this hypothetical person who's just getting dunked on.
Where that bitch at now? She only starts working after I checked in? Is that what's going on?
Again, I guess it's a fair thought. I don't know why it is that way. I assume because they have like lots and lots of rooms, and so they can only guarantee that they're all going to get cleaned up after potential late checkouts by that particular time. Again, I hate to break this down so literally, but like it's not clever to ask questions that the answers are quite obvious. Asking obvious questions can be something that comes off very relatable. Can be an approach that's like, yeah, right, I was thinking that too. But like having an obvious, if there's an obvious answer to it, you need to have more to your concept than just that base thought of like, hey, yeah, why do hotels not let me check in till 3? And it's like, I don't know. Like, oh, okay.
You ever ask them for late checkout? They're like, we can give it to you, but you gotta pay.
Oh, you know you have to pay for late checkout.
Pay? You owe me 5 hours from yesterday. Roll that shit over, motherfucker. Why'd you stop me from panhandling if you knew you was gonna ask me for more money? What type of fucked up thing is this?
Again, this is jokier. I think he's getting into some of the meat of his material here a little bit. My opinion, waiting 17 minutes and 50 seconds to get into that is a little much. But even still, again, he's got this like rant comic material that's delivered in such a like just blasé, unenthused way. He's got the crowd wrapped around his fucking finger, though, that's for sure. But again, he's at the Comedy Stores. He's got the hometown advantage going on. But, you know, comics do that at the Mothership a lot nowadays, too. It's like, well, you're going to have a hot crowd. Even for comedians like Ian Edwards that don't have, like, universal fame and can draw, you know, as a huge drawing name, which he probably will be soon. But, yeah, I don't know. Let's see, 51? Okay, fantastic example. Ian Edwards is 5 5.1K subscribers on YouTube. If you compare that to like some of his contemporaries, or like Tony Hinchcliffe, like who he apparently came up side by side along. Kill Tony's kind of a bad example because it's such a huge show that's seen such a boom in popularity in the last few years, but even still, like Joe List, I want to say, is well over 50K. Joe DeRosa, same deal, probably closer to 100K. Like 5.1K dwarfs anything I've ever created, but as far as other comedians are concerned, it's kind of small.
This is how long I've been doing comedy. When I started doing comedy, you used to be able to check in at 11. Then they moved it up to 12, and now it's 3 and 4. Soon you won't be able to check in the day you booked a room for.
Pattern recognition. Okay, so we're still talking about hotels. Previous to that, it was, that's right, restaurants, and then airlines. Which is to say that we've gone 10 full minutes of airline, restaurant, and hotel humor. Which, like, I guess if I keep using the word universal, but, like, you know, if you want this ubiquitous, like, okay, well, we all understand that. That's just something that is breachable for all of us. I guess if that's the kind of comedy you go for, you know, I guess that's another part, is none of these jokes connect to who this character is. They're jokes that, like, anyone could tell, and clearly you could say it in any way you want, because, like, he's not putting any chi into this. He has zero energy going into his delivery. Anyone could take these jokes and, like, make them work this well, I believe, because none of this is specific to Ian Edwards. Again, counterexample, Joe List very much writes his jokes in his tone as a character. You know, a little bit underfoot, but, you know, kind of got these extra thoughts, you know what I mean? Like, it's very Joe List's comedy. Same with Joe DeRosa. Same with Chris DiStefano. Giannis Pappas even. Like, I didn't love those specials, but they come from a place of, like, oh yeah, these are the thoughts of this particular artist. Ian Edwards is just, like, listing things. I don't know, maybe that's comedy store-itis. You know, who knows?
Sorry, sir, but you got to come back tomorrow. Yeah, we know you booked it for today. But come back tomorrow. And make sure you buy a bed.
Oh, make sure you buy a bed. See, there's another callback. He's not building anything. There's not like a cerebrality. There's not a cerebral nature to it where one thing leads into another, cause and effects into another. But it's, again, proof that this is one cohesive piece. And being like, oh, also don't forget to buy your bed is the same thing. Like, oh, when you buy an airline ticket, you don't get a seat. I don't know. So, you know, that all tracks. I need to use the restroom. We're getting near the halfway point here, so I will be right back, and I'm going to give it like 5 minutes to shakes. Excellent. All right. One more little squirt of my Mio. Yo for me. Wonderful. So, let's jump back in. We're still almost to the end of why hotels ain't shit. Oh yeah, don't forget to buy a bed as well, was this last punchline.
Am I the only one here that didn't purchase a bed?
It had closer energy for sure. It's not. We're not even halfway through this thing, but...
Thank you for making me feel comfortable in a onesie. Anybody got a plane that needs fixing? I got you after this shit.
Thank you for making me feel comfortable in a onesie. I don't get that. What's he talking about?
Thank you for making me feel comfortable. Am I the only one here that didn't purchase a bed? Thank you for making me feel comfortable in a onesie.
What? I think he's about to go on and explain what the hell he's talking about. And again, a non sequitur can be a funny way to transition between jokes, but I don't think that's what that was. That smacks to me of weird editing.
Anybody got a plane that needs fixing? I got you after this shit. I'm questioning this whole outfit myself. You can't...
Oh, he's in a onesie right now, I think.
Can't look at me worse than I've looked...
Which sucks, because this entire fucking special has been shot from the waist up. So this joke, to us, does not make any sense.
Looked at me, myself. You can't look at me worse than I've looked at me.
Oh no, there is a wide shot. Yeah, I guess, sure, yeah, he's wearing a onesie. Didn't even register. Doesn't at all smack as strange. It just looks like the kind of guy that would rock one of those.
Travel a lot for shows. The other day I get to TSA.
Honestly, it looks pretty fucking sweet.
And that's when I realized I lost my ID. Yeah. Now, TSA, they assholes when you got your ID. So now I'm that guy that's holding up the line. You know what I'm saying? Normally I'm the guy that's back in line, making the guy that's holding up the line feel like shit. Normally I'm back there like, hey, what the fuck is going on out there?
Seems like he's coming into his element. He's loosening up a little bit, you know? That was pretty funny. You know, now I'm the guy holding up the line. Normally I'm the guy at the back of the line, making the guy holding up the line feel like shit. That's pretty funny. And again, very in his tone. So, Act 2 is boding well for him, it would seem.
Why we ain't moving? What? He forgot his ID. Who the fuck comes to the airport with no ID, fam? Hey, you leaving? Tell everybody out there there's an asshole in here with no ID. So now I gotta convince the TSA agent that I'm me, you know? And it's working a little bit. Because she's like, I want to let you through, but how do I know you're not trying to escape from something? And I said, if I was, it wouldn't be to Wisconsin. She's like, good point. I'm going to let you...
Okay, yeah, I'm not enamored by his style, by his performative style at all. But I will say that I can sense that he's more comfortable with this material than the other stuff. But we had that cold open, like, trans joke thing, so we'll find out. Because he was kind of clunky for that, too. Oh, what's up, Carissa? Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you very much. So anyway, yeah, coming into Act 2, he's feeling himself far more. It's clear.
You go through. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go, but how the hell do I get back? I still ain't got no ID. She's like, don't worry about it. On the way back, there's a procedure. They're going to ask you a bunch of questions. You'll be all right. So I go, I do the show. Show goes well, but not well enough for me to want to stay there. Now I got to get back, you know what I'm saying? The day before the flight, I'm nervous as shit. I get to the airport so early, that shit is closed.
I would like to point out, though, that we are back on fucking airport humor. He did that. He did that so quickly.
Now I gotta get back, you know what I'm saying? The day before the flight, I'm nervous as shit. I get to the airport so early, that shit is closed. Did you even know that the airport closes? That's how I found out. I found out while I was helping them open the fucking airport. I was like, 1, 2, on 3, let's go.
Little physical comedy there. I know you guys can't see that yet, but yeah, you kind of did a 1, 2, 3, let's go type of deal. Again, just loosening up a little bit. Don't love that we're talking about airplanes, but I like that he's feeling more comfortable.
I was there all day helping people with their luggage. Come on, lady, I got you. I know where everything is at right now. I did a shift at the Starbucks and shit. I was helping them land planes.
He's doing more physical comedy here.
I had this on too, so it worked.
So he is wearing a onesie, or a jumper. Is a romper a onesie with shorts? Never mind. It's getting off subject. Let me know if you know in the comments.
I was trying to build a rapport with everyone at the airport. So if I got stuck at TSA, they like, hey, that's Ian. He's mad cool. He does everything around here.
It's funny. First genuine, pretty big laugh of the special. That's pretty funny. Again, very in his own voice.
So I get to the TSA lady. I tell her the deal. She starts looking at me sideways like an albino that just said the N-word.
Call back. We're back to Act 1. Oh, shit. He's on one.
She's like, fill out this form. So I write my name and my address on the form. She's like, I'm gonna make a phone call. She calls this dude, tells him the information on the form. Then she hands me the phone. Now he starts asking me questions. And he's like, what's your birthday? So I tell him my birthday, and apparently that's the right answer. Because we move on to the next question. Then he was like, name a relative, any relative. So I tell him my mom's name. And he's like, that's correct.
All right, seriously, there is such a tonal difference between Acts 1 and 2. I have a theory. My theory is that this is material he's been working on for a lot longer. I think he's traveled with it. I think he's played it to lots of different crowds and got, really sharpened this, because it was very honed material. It's very Ian Edwards. You can hear all of his dialogue in the story that he's telling. Sounds like him. Like it's not, it doesn't just come off like my biggest problem with Act 1 was like anyone could be telling these jokes. None of this is exclusive Edwardsian humor. This stuff is. It's very much like you could see him in these situations, and when he says, this is the way I reacted, you believe it, and it's funny. This is night and day better than the first act, and I think it's because the first act is less polished. I think he wanted right around an hour. He got 52 minutes and 46 seconds. I think he wanted right around an hour, and he had that first 20, that first 20 minutes we just kind of slogged through, I think was newer stuff to help fill out the time. Because this is funny. Now that we're in Act 2, I think we're to some well-polished Ian Edwards material versus his cursory thoughts.
So I'm killing this quiz.
So he just got the mom's name question.
And he's like, that's correct.
Like, that's funny. And he's like, that's correct. Like, it's very, very Ian Edwards. I'm going to keep saying that because the first act was not.
So I'm killing this quiz. I'm killing this me quiz. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know these answers are right. I don't know how the fuck he knows they're right. I want to ask him, but I need to focus and score A and get on this flight. Then he was like, what's your mother's age? I was like, oh shit.
That's funny. That's the kind of relatability I'm talking about. That's not just surface level, hey, I had this thought. Did you probably have this thought too? It's like it's some stuff that's covered up by sort of the dust of everyday existence that he brushes off and is like, oh, we all have one of these. That's very funny. Like, how old's your mom? I don't fucking know.
Can we name a different relative? Because I don't know my mom's age. You know, she told us the month and the day of the month so we could get her gifts. But I was raised by a generation of black parents where their age was none of my fucking business. You know what I'm saying? Like, they fed us and put a roof over our head, but we didn't know them.
It's funny.
You know how weird it is when my friends know their parents? I'm like, you know that about your mom? How the fuck do you know that? My mom's name is Mom.
Kind of weird because he just said he named his mom's name correctly. Could have used anything else. Nitpick. That's a nitpick. Nitpick?
I don't need to know anything else because that's all she'll let me call her. I don't know her age, you know. Now I'm really worried because he's known everything about me so far, you know. And then if he's known so much about me, then he must know I'm Jamaican. And if he knows I'm Jamaican, then he knows that Jamaican kids don't know their parents' age. So this could just be a trick question. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I gave him the right answer, he might be like, ha ha, motherfucker, you ain't supposed to know that. I knew you wasn't you. And here's the last thing about my mom's age. If I did know my mom's age, and she found out I told some stranger, she would fucking kill me. So now I'm in a bind, you know what I'm saying? He can feel it. He's like, hey, just ballpark it. So I throw a number out, and he's like, that's good enough. I'm like, whew. So I'm about to hang up, and then I was like, hold on, before I go, can I ask you a question? Could you tell me my mother's age? He's like, I can't tell you that. She'll fucking kill me.
Funny, clever. You know, again, it's not uproarious, like no one's doubled over in the audience. It's kind of funny looking at the crowd here. This someday I'll have my TV back there. It'll be right up behind me, and I'll be able to like point to stuff for you, you know. But yeah, the crowd is predominantly white. I don't see a single POC in the bunch. Neither here nor there, but kind of explains a little bit of the like clamminess in the first. No, it doesn't. The first act was just poorly written. Not even poorly written, just half-assedly written. Not well practiced. As I said before, it's kind of hollow.
I was like, damn.
This stuff is funny, though.
I did know I was Jamaican. Like I said, man, I don't mind traveling. San Diego is one of my favorite cities.
Oh, he's at the San Diego Comedy Store. Oh, La Jolla location, I believe it is. That explains why the stained glass I've never heard anyone talk about. Okay. Stained glass is nice. Very Comedy Store of me. Very Comedy Store right now. Okay, well, we are at 25 minutes and 42 seconds of 52 minutes and 46 seconds, which I think is roughly about halfway. So nice job. We've done it so far. Let's keep on cranking this out. We've only taken about an hour and a half to get through this, less than half an hour, but that's how we're going to do it here on Critical Eeks. By the way, if you're having a good time, be sure to follow, like, or subscribe, because we are indeed of a kind.
I'm not saying that just because I'm here either. I like DC too, you know? Yeah, DC, you fuck with DC? Yeah, I love it. I love DC because the whole city is a museum. You feel me? Like, they got memorials and museums everywhere. Last time I was there, I went to get a picture with the statue of Martin Luther King, and I get there, and there's a big line, and it's an honor system, so I just go to the back of the line, I'm waiting my turn. I'm waiting like 15 minutes, and then I look up, and that's when I realize there's nothing but white people in front of me. And that's when I was like,
he's doing like, he's kind of, what the hell? Like, just helping talk you through some of the more physical aspects of this comedy special.
I think you all know I should be next. I'm gonna need one of y'all to take my photo. Since y'all like shooting black men.
This predominantly white audience is like, oh, whoa. I mean, yeah, but...
Why are you groaning? It's literally a statue of a black man that was shot.
He's kind of letting the tension linger there, which could be a cool move.
When it just opened, I went to the African American Museum.
Wow, these things, they're just one thing to the next. Again, it is apparently his style, but you can kind of almost, as he's telling these jokes and as he goes from one joke to another, lacking transition, you can kind of just see it in a list on the paper. It's like, okay, then we go to Martin Luther King, and then we go into African American Museum. Actually, it's literally just a list of the time. You could do it. Yeah, so first we got gender reveal joke, then the Michael Jackson joke, then Handmaid's Tale, then Black Albino, airlines, luggage, dog or bag, restaurant. Like, it's just a list of things. This part of the list is funnier, but that doesn't make this any less of just like a comprehensive list of Ian Edwards' thoughts. And before you ask, yes, other comedians are more evolved than that. They take a little more time to flesh some of these out. I think he's at his best when he's impersonating himself or really kind of telling the story, telling a first-person story, where like we're seeing the eyes through we're seeing the world through Ian Edwards' eyes. Because he does have a funny perspective, but when he's just like presenting these thoughts to us, I'm not a fan of it. Again, comedy's subjective. Not saying it's not funny. I don't believe it's well written. I can point and have been pointing to reasons as to why. But as far as it being funny, again, there's a whole room full of San Diegans that are loving it right now.
The first year it was open. To get into the African American Museum, you got to make reservations online. You know, which is weird, because black people, we don't like making reservations. We like to just pull up. So why did they make it so white to get into a place so black? So I ain't make no reservations, I just pull up. Now I can't get into the African American Museum. It's me and 50 other black people who didn't make any reservations. We standing out there, and we watching hundreds of white people who made reservations walk by us into the museum.
Kind of feel the air getting a little bit sucked out of the room here. Because again, I'm glad I pointed out when I did what the crowd looks like, because they are predominantly, almost without exception, quite pale. And so I think I'm getting kind of the same, like, it's funny, but I'm laughing, but I'm laughing for the right reasons, I swear to God. Is that a thing about black people? That's very interesting. I didn't know it wasn't an assumption I made. Like, you can kind of feel the pale guilt sort of creeping over the room. So let's see how he pulls this off.
And at first I was pissed, but then I was like, oh shit, they nailed it. I don't even have to go in to experience the pain of the exhibits.
The relief on some of these people's faces are like, okay, now we know how to act.
It feels like I'm in there right now. I'm like, is there even really a museum?
It is funny how, like, they all kind of clammed up during the racial stuff, because, I'm laughing, but for the right reasons, not because of any preconceived notions that I have or thought. It's just, that's what you said is funny. So it is, you can just kind of see them all relax a little bit when the punchline hits, because it's a little tense in the front row.
It's just a facade, and they're making people walk by. And I know I talk about race, but it doesn't matter what your religious beliefs are, your political beliefs, or what color you are. It's no excuse for all of us not to love each other. You know what I'm saying? Right? Yes.
Like, obviously I agree, but that's what I mean. It's just cheap. Everyone should get along well and respect people who are also people.
And I say this because I have a confession to make. I have an Android. Thank you, Androiders. You got one too? That's good. See how happy they were? Because that's the persecution they've been dealing with.
Brilliant. Very good joke.
You know what's wrong with having an Android? The shit you get from people for having an Android. You know what I'm saying? Yes.
This chick in the audience is like, yes, that's me. She is currently embodying my exact beliefs and reactions. In fact, this a little bit glitchy stream is brought to you, in fact, upon an Android.
For having an Android. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
She's losing. Yes!
I used to think it was tough being black.
Probably. I don't know. I think so. That's what it
That ain't got
where it's like you can feel the crowd kind of like, we're supposed to think this is funny, right?
shit. But that ain't got shit on being a vegan with a Samsung. That's a whole nother level of racism right there.
The chick is losing her mind. Yeah! It doesn't have shit with being a vegan who has a Samsung. We agree.
Like, everybody's mad cool with you until they get that green bubble text in their phone. Right?
I don't know enough about iPhones to know if that's funny or not. It seems funny.
And that's when all racism breaks loose. We don't text your kind around here, green bubble motherfucker.
Green bubblers for life.
I'm like, damn, I was just trying to tell you happy birthday, man. White people, you want to know what it feels like to be black? Get an Android.
He's repeating his jokes again. There's tagging your base, which, reminding people of the concept, retouching on the theme of what you're talking about so that the next thing you go into, you're setting up the context for the next thing you're about to go into. Excuse me, would you? But he just has a tendency, I'm going to say this is the third time where he's just set a concept, worked it through, and then restates this, just kind of re-summarizes what he was just talking about. I think this is the best instance of it. I think he maintains his momentum the best right here from what I can tell, but it's definitely a style of his, if that's what you want to call it.
White people, you want to know what it feels like to be black? Get an Android. Get an Android, and after 1 month, you'll be like, man, we got to end this racism.
Or tense clapter. Probably, I think so. He sounds like he's right.
I had no idea. This is how they've been treating niggas all this time. And I can say niggas now. Because I have an Android.
The concept's very good. I think this is a very funny concept. I've never heard it before. It's a new take. For sure it's a new take. Like, yeah, this is, I feel, probably the meat of the special. But I want to call it now. I think he's probably about to start within the next roughly 4 to 8 minutes. He's going to start making more callbacks to his previous material, because I think that's how he adjusts from one act to the other. Because if you were here for it, when he went from Act 1 into Act 2, even though his jokes don't have transitions, the acts themselves, I think that's going to be a motif. I'm pretty sure we're going to see him start to refer to things that were either in Act 1 or Act 2, X1 or Act 2, and use that to kind of push momentum into Act 3. I hope. We'll see.
And I know just how it feels. FYI, if you're white and you got an Android and you say the N-word, just know you'll be getting your ass whooped. By me and a black albino.
Callback! I fucking told you. That's a fucking Act 1 callback.
He don't play that shit. How many couples here tonight?
No transition. Straight into the next thing.
Strong love over here. Strong over there. Right over here was weak as shit. Could have been bad. I see way more couples over there than responded. Yeah. But let me just say, I believe in love. I hope it all works out. I know it's tough, you know. I know that most of our societies and religions tell us all to be with one person, but our sex drive, it's like, hey man, let's fuck everybody.
Okay, I don't know.
In San Diego tonight. Like, why is our sex drive so high if we're only supposed to be with one person?
Here we go. More cursory notepad thoughts from Ian Edwards.
It makes relationships tougher. And I'm sorry to bring that up when this side of the room is struggling.
By the way, when he did that, he went, big reaction over here, big reaction over here, no reaction right here. It's like, I guess it's broken into like fifths or something. And sections like 1 and 5 did well. I don't know. He's referring to the room as though it's like this half of the room. Yeah. This, I believe, is probably a symptom of this also being more new material. I think he led with some of his least confident things. You know, dog or bag, restaurants, airplanes, all that shit. Hotels, why hotels ain't shit. The onesie joke, which was like a 10-second little transition, but it really helped him, because then losing his license was a fun little story. Why I love DC, transitioned very well into the Martin Luther King, African American Museum stuff. Racism, and then that climaxed into racism with androids, which again, very, very funny concept, very unique, very personable to him. Unfortunately, then we hit this weird high sex drive stuff where I think he's a little less comfortable. Again, I think he had some stuff he was not so sure about. Then he went into his very strong material. He's kind of throwing in a little bit more filler here. I think we're going to start to see a lot more callbacks. and then he's going to come into his third act, which hopefully is his strongest stuff. And if it is his strongest stuff, I imagine it will actually be funny. He's gotten 2 very legitimate laughs out of me.
But why is our sex drive so high if we're only supposed to be one person? But then I thought about...
See, because he did that in the first act too, where he kind of knows what he wants to say, but hasn't really nailed down his phrasing or how he's going to say it. So it's like, and another way, because our ass went up, when people are he's kind of throwing in some thans when he means them, it's just little hang-ups where he's not as comfortable presenting these ideas or these concepts or these stories as he was with androids and racism or whatever.
And I realized the reason why sex drive is high is because sex leads to more people, and our ultimate job as human beings is to make more people and keep the world evolving. You know what I'm saying? Right? So, if you ever get caught cheating and your partner's pissed, just be like, hey, this is bigger than you.
Funny. Yeah, but okay. Didn't expect that phrasing.
A lot of people got killed in that fire in Hawaii. And I just replaced 2 of them. It's not my fault. I get horny when people die.
All right, when were those fires? We're going to Google this. Fires in Hawaii. 2 eyes. News. Oh, shit. There's some going on right now. And 2 weeks ago? Shit, it looks like Hawaii's been on fire for a grip, bruh. That's... didn't know that. Okay, so... hard to pin down when that was written. Unfortunately, hard to pin down when that was written.
That's how the good Lord made me, you know what I'm saying?
So anyway, he saw that people died in the Hawaiian fires, and he got all boned up, because he's like, oh, we gotta make more babies, because that's how the good Lord made him. He said it funnier.
Wait a minute, what's that on the news? Is that a submarine missing? Sorry, boo, I gotta go cheat on you again.
Okay, let's see about that. Submarine, missing submarine. Okay, on March that happened. A vessel with 45 Russian tourists on board sank off the coast of a tourist resort in Hurghada, Egypt, in the Red Sea. So Titanic's sub identifies 5-person crew died in the exposition. So yeah, missing submarines happened like roughly this year. Looks like. Again, I'm just checking relevance, just trying to kind of date how old these jokes are, because the Android and iPhone thing's very funny. It's almost timeless, because those are the 2 brands that have been at each other's throats for a very long time, versus something that could have been written at any point, which seems like it's synonymous with timeless, but I feel, it's different in its delivery. One of them is pretty straightforward. Again, it's the difference between thoughts that are universally relatable and firsthand thoughts we all have when we're presented with something. Anyway.
Nature calls. Speaking of that missing submarine, I've never seen a whole world of people unanimously not give a fuck.
I had to look it up.
About the lives of 5 other people. Like, our behavior was shameless. And it was because they were billionaires. Right? Normally, when there's a tragedy like that, we all bond together and root for a positive outcome. But not this time. Even when the news was like, they only have 40 hours of air left. Everybody was like, good.
I didn't remember this, so I was kind of laughing at his delivery, but it was a pretty solid bit.
Let me know when they only got 20.
By about 20 hours from now.
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna need a minute-to-minute countdown. Cause I'm throwing a New Year's Eve no air left party. I don't want Ryan Seacrest to drop the ball in Times Square.
Boy, this concept has kind of gotten out of hand. A little bit off the rails here. You know, making something a little bit more abstract. Sure, very cool, you know, but this whole, like, I want to have a New Year's style. I don't know. It's a lot of steps. You've really stretched the concept, I believe, about as far as one could.
Nobody gave a fuck because they were billionaires. Even the Chilean miners was like, fuck those niggas.
Gotta do it. This will be the third one, so we'll call it rule of 3 here. But Chilean miners collapse. When did that happen? August. Okay. Sad. You know, souls rest in peace. I hadn't heard that. So August, this was probably filmed right around August, September, October, November for editing and production and that kind of thing. So, okay, yeah, he filmed this fairly recently. And these jokes were written fairly recently. Not that that's like gonna count against him if it was old material, because again, I very much look forward to Bobby Lee's special, even though it's gonna be a collection of stuff he's been telling for 20 years. I just, yeah, it's just data. Helps me understand him as a writer.
Even millionaires were like, fuck those billionaires. No groups in this country have been able to agree on anything in the past 20 years. That was the only time in recent history where everybody was like, these motherfuckers got to die.
Was that a consensus? I don't remember. I do not. Yeah, I guess. Again, this concept started, this bit started with him introducing the concept that, like, nobody cared. And now it's like people are like, want them to die? Which is a different sentiment, but he's continuing to stretch this, by the way.
And that's why every year, we should celebrate Submarine Day. And rekindle our bond, you know what I'm saying? Of unity and love. Let's not let their lives go to waste, you know what I'm saying? Isn't it crazy that
I don't know what he's saying at this point. I try to be a bit of a team player, but I am a little lost on that. Okay, because yeah, he wants to make a bunch of babies. That right there is where he should have touched this is where he should have tagged the base. It's where he should have been like, oh, okay, just so you remember, like, this is why I'm saying I'm glad those people died, because that means we can make more babies. Maybe he's about to, but it's, again, he's really stretched this about as far as I thought it could go about 5 minutes ago.
Isn't it crazy that the Titanic is still killing motherfuckers?
So I saw this when I was looking for missing submarine. That's, I guess, what that was. There's a submarine of people who are going down to see the Titanic, and I guess it crashed. So if you didn't know, like I didn't know, now you do.
Like decades later, it's still catching bodies. Like, you think I'm done? Come the fuck on down here, and I'll show you what time it is. I'm the Titanic. I kill rich people.
That's probably the best Titanic joke I've heard in a very long time.
You want to see Jack?
From the movie.
Come the fuck on down here, I'll show you Jack. Get the band playing. We got some new motherfuckers.
Get the band playing.
I was talking about relationships. I don't know how I went off on that tangent. I'm single. Last girl I dated ghosted me. Yeah, she died.
That's kind of a street joke at this point. I mean, not literally, like you're not going to find that on a popsicle stick, but like with the concept of ghosting people really popularizing in the really becoming popularized in the last 10 years, there's no way he's the first person. I'm actually certain I've heard other people make that joke. Yeah, my girlfriend ghosted me. She's dead now.
Last girl I dated ghosted me. Yeah, she died.
Because ghosts are they're from dead people.
Believe she did that shit to me? I miss her too, man.
What did that girl say? He's even looking at her like, what the fuck? What'd she say? Can you hear it? So as the laughter kind of dies down, you hear a woman's voice and she's like, Teamer. Sounds like she drops kind of an inappropriate word, though I doubt it, being that they're in San Diego.
She did that shit to me? I miss her too, man.
I don't know if that's going across, but Ian Edwards might have had some funny jokes, but that is definitely the MVJ.
Her energy had a nice ass.
Okay, I gotta go back. I don't know what he's talking about. Oh, ghosted.
I miss her too, man. Her energy had a nice ass. It's been messed up with the ladies, period. My mistress found out I wasn't married.
It's funny. It's stupid, but it's funny.
Ruined her chance to be a side piece. Fellas, you gotta give the ladies what they want. They want what they want, you know?
That's like a good sitcom bit. That could be like a running joke for some side character in a sitcom. It's a pretty funny concept. I don't think I've ever heard it introduced to me before. The whole oh, my mistress found out I don't actually have a wife. Ugh.
You know how messed up it is to finally meet the woman you want to cheat on your wife with, and you ain't even married? That's a blown opportunity right there.
I was right. I'm telling you, I think I'm right, because now we're coming into the third act. He had some transitionary material, a couple of little callbacks, and now he's in some stuff that I think he feels far more comfortable in. He's feeling himself, and also the material is just genuinely funnier. Two completely different calibers.
And ladies, I don't want y'all to think it's easy for us men to cheat on you, because it's not. Especially when we're married to our best friend. You know how fucked up it is? Not to be able to tell your best friend about the best night of your life.
Again, it's stupid. It's a silly concept, but it's very funny. It's a funny way to turn this on its ear.
You think that shit is easy, ladies? I can feel some tension in the room over those couple jokes. Some guys are staring straight ahead. Their woman is like, you think that shit is funny?
This he's killing. He's playing the room a little bit. He's on fire. This is some shit that he's definitely workshopped a lot more. I think, if anything, the biggest sin that this special has committed is being rushed. Because I think even the like other stuff, again, it was like, I was calling it kind of pedestrian. I referred to it as pedestrian, but it's like, that's just it's a good start. You just want to hear it a little more fleshed out. I think another 6 months to a year, this would have been a fantastic special. I just think he's also noticing the Rogan Sphere comedy boom kind of subsiding. Not very quietly, mind you, but, you know, that bubble has burst, many people are saying. And I can't disagree with him. But I think that he's probably sensing that and trying to get out, you know, because podcast cringe, too lazy to try. I'm not even going to drop Redac's name because I don't want to be associated with his takes the fuck at all. But I don't really like what cringe has to say most of the time either. Too lazy, right on. But they've all kind of been pointing to the fact that it used to be when a comedian went on JRE, the Joe Rogan Experience, they were overnight became a sensation. They had, you know, 1 million new followers and they were selling out arenas. Like that consistently for years was the way. Even for comedians that most people hated, and that's actually kind of the history behind the whole Brendan Schaub hatred. So if you're familiar with the Fighter and the Kid drama, or how terrifying a community they have proven to be for Brian Callen and Brendan Schaub, which, side note, is part of the reason that Brian Callen's special gets so much hate, because people are going to hate anything that he does. Some of them for very legitimate reasons, but it's neither here nor there. We'll go over that when we get into that special, probably in the next couple of days. But they've been pointing to the fact that nowadays, when someone goes on JRE, they don't necessarily blow up right away. And it's the same with the like Kill Tony bump. Granted, I did hear about this special through the Kill Tony bump, but the more people who tried to streamline their fame and their notoriety through these podcasts without doing the due diligence of actually like making it a good, cohesive special that people would want to see, the more people that kind of fooled us into like clicking that because, oh, they were on these shows that we watch way too much of, even if we're hate watching it, that we're watching a bunch of, it continued to wear away at the credibility of that suggestion medium, and now I believe it's completely worn through. And I think Ian Edwards, this is my theory, I think Ian Edwards on this special, he'd been workshopping for the last year and a half or so. I think he realized, like, shit, like, I'm missing my opportunity to really, like, seize the carp on this one. Carpe diem, seize the carp. Oh, cold. Zach Galifianakis' first joint. Anyway, so I think that that's why he rushed this special to the presses, and why Act 1 was terrible, Act 2.5 was shoddy. But overall, this special has very funny moments. It's just not consistently funny all the way through, which is pretty rare. Louis J. Gomez's special was kind of that way too. Louis's transitions are far worse than this. Far worse. My review of that's kind of in limbo right now, so I may end up doing that on this channel too, just doing a live, reviewing of it. Be sure to follow and subscribe so that you don't miss any of those going on in the future, yada yada. Anyway, so let's keep going through Act 3 of this. We got about 15 minutes left on here. Who knows how long it'll take us on this stream.
Can feel some heat. Some guys are staring straight ahead. Their woman is like, you think that shit is funny? Can feel some heat. Listen, if your relationship can't survive these jokes, it wasn't going to work anyway. So enjoy your last night together. At least it's in a comedy club, you know?
No.
Yeah, you gotta have fun with your relationship. You gotta talk about everything, figure out a way how to joke about it. There's a lot of honesty that's hidden in relationships. Ladies, I don't know if you knew this, but it's painful for us men not to cheat on you.
I think that's our girl from earlier. She's a star. She got the biggest laugh at the special, let's be honest.
See, you're immediately offended, but let me explain. It sounds worse than it is. The fact that it's painful and we don't cheat is proof that we love you. You know what I'm saying? Like, resisting.
Boy, he is losing the room, bruh.
Temptation is proof of actual love. You know what I'm saying? But we can't.
What was that?
Resisting temptation is proof of actual love. You know what I'm saying? But we can't.
It's like the fucking... It's the maiden ship for the brand. Gaslight. Gaslight, the bumper sticker. I had something funny. Anyway, that cracks me up. It's like you would see that on a bumper sticker for the brand, like Gaslighters United. See, this is why you workshop some shit. Comedy ain't easy.
I can't tell you how much times we resisted temptation. Like, you don't know how the shit goes down. Like, we'd be on the phone. So you're saying, if I pull up, you and your homegirl will suck my dick.
What phone conversation is he having? What the fuck?
Listen, I can't. I got a girl, and this would just hurt her too much.
Wait for it.
Thank you for your offers.
Wait for it.
This is an amazing breakup severance package.
Wait for it.
But I'm gonna have to turn it down.
Wait for it.
God bless you, hoes. And your future home wrecking endeavors.
Funny phrasing.
And then we hang up.
God damn, that was a slow build to nothing. I'm glad I was like punctuating it as I did because it could really demonstrate. That just was really top heavy. There was nothing there. It was like da 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 da. Anyway, I don't know. That was weird. It feels like you really had me for a second there. It really was like, I'm like, all right, here's my chin. Like, give me that sucker punch. You're gonna surprise me, right? No.
And then our girl comes home. Hey, baby. Get the fuck out my face. Come in here with this hey baby bullshit. I just saved our relationship. You don't even understand the kind of hero you're staring at right now.
Still got a flog in that horse.
I can't even tell you because if I do, you'll flip it around and make me the bad guy.
That's funny.
Talking about how I know these bitches. So ladies, whenever your man just yells at you for no reason, he just turned down a threesome.
Really weird line, just summary line. Like, oh, okay, that's the all right. The moral of that story.
I got you.
What'd I miss there?
On a threesome. I got you.
That was weird because it was a joke that wasn't, it was a visual joke that wasn't even for the people who are watching the video because the guy he's talking to doesn't say anything that's audible. He like apparently is gesturing to him. And Ian is like, no problem. I got you. It's like, who are you talking to? it's nitpicky, but like, what? Bro, we were in the last 10 minutes of this special, my man. Like, this is precious ink. This is precious space on the page.
And if he doesn't yell, he might have just accepted one.
And I'm really hoping for a banger on this next, like, home stretch here. Let's hope for a home run. Come on, Ian.
And that's the irony of the situation. It might be better if we did cheat on you. Because we'd be so riddled with guilt, we treat you way better. Like you come home, hey, baby, what's up, boo? I missed you so much. I got you these flowers. Oh, shit. You
kind of does have a hard time letting things go in time. Like, they're like, what's up, boo? Or whatever he said. Like, that would be funny, you know. That'd be, you know. But now we're to flowers. Still not bad, but let's see.
got me flowers. You know I love flowers.
Now we're, you know I love flowers.
I know you love flowers.
Now I knew you loved flowers again.
That's why I got you flowers.
We're not gaining anything from this added information. This isn't contributing to more knowledge that we need to understand the next part of the story. This is just him repeating things, like, but not in a way that's like, oh, these aren't like tags where it's like, okay, now you go, this, you're not just adding laughs to the end of a like a raucous reaction to a punchline. It's just like, I got you flowers. Oh, you got me flowers. I love flowers. I got you flowers. I know you love flowers. Let's see where he goes from here, but I'm telling you, this is all just useless air.
And she's like, I missed you too. That's why I got you these Laker tickets.
What am I missing about that? Why did that get that reaction? Laker tickets?
And she's like, I missed you too. That's why I got you these Laker tickets.
Was it the Lakers where they got... No, it was like a hockey game or like a Taylor Swift concert. It was Coldplay, that's what it was. Where the like couple got busted or they were like cheating, they were up in the like suite. So it's not that. Lakers tickets. My most basic grasp of this would be, okay, because that like offsets the bet. Like he cheats on her, so he gets her flowers and gives them to her, and she loves flowers, so in his mind, like, they're equal. And then she gives him Lakers tickets, so like he's back down. That's, I want it to be way more than that, because that's just like, okay, what math are we doing here? It seems to me like it's got something to do with the Lakers specifically. I don't follow basketball. I don't follow West Coast really much of anything. I don't know. It's not really I'm not really plugged into that pop culture, so maybe that's very funny. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say that because it's Lakers tickets specifically that it's funny. And it's not just that this creates another indiscrepancy. But I think that's what it is.
This bitch been cheating on me?
Oh, because she, okay. Funny, got my ass, dude.
Fuck. I can't even tell her that I know because I want to go to the game. Courtside seats. How many niggas you been fucking with? Now I gotta hope she keeps on cheating so I can go to more games this season. And just to be fair, ladies, I know you turn down way more opportunities to cheat than men do. That's facts. but it's all relative. Like if you have $1 million and you lose $100, you don't even notice you lost $100. But if you only got $200,
That's funny. That's a funny joke. Probably some of his older material.
and you lose $100, you just lost $1 million.
Again, a lot of math, but it's funny. Actually, literal quote math on that one.
That's how painful it is not to cheat on y'all. I don't think y'all can take any more relationship shit.
Kind of, thank God.
Let's talk about something more pleasant. Yeah, let's talk about death. What, y'all can't take the relationship shit? You ever wake up in the morning and check your phone and realize a celebrity died, right? And especially like if they're young and you love their work, you do some research to find out what the fuck happened because it came out of nowhere. And then you find out they were struggling with some illness for the past 2 years they never told us about. Then now you got to deal with their death and their 2 years of illness all that morning when you got a packed schedule.
Again, so much homework to do on these. It's like, okay, here's the premise. Now here's something you need to know about the premise. A little more you need to know about the premise. My thoughts on what you need to know about the premise. And one more thing you need to know about the premise. Now here's the joke.
And I feel like it would have been better if they'd have told us in advance. You know what I'm saying? So we'd be more prepared to deal with their death because, you know, some of these people, we love them, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm here to tell you. When I'm a celebrity, I would never do that shit to you. You feel me?
No. You die? What are you talking about?
As soon as I know I'm dying, you know I'm dying. As soon as my doctor's like, you have 5 months to live. Hold up, doc. Say that again on IG Live.
Okay. There's like 5 minutes left in this thing, and it's just kind of really dragging through the third act. He still has time. In my opinion, he still has time to take the things that he started back at the very beginning and could roll that along into the third act into something that's going to be very satisfying because, like, he showed previously that he knows the value of a callback, that he knows how satisfying it is to take those threads that he exposed earlier, tie them into the next part of the tale, you know, threading us all along, stringing everything together. I think there have been 3 examples of callbacks. But what he's doing here is just like, again, it's basic, like, toilet thoughts. This one's got the next step figured out. They're like, you know, oh, I hate when celebrities do this is the basic thought. And then the next step being, when I'm a celebrity, when I die. So it's it's the evolved form of a toilet thought. We're not at Final Evolution, in my opinion. You definitely could have worked this over more times. But again, I'm more remarking on the fact that this seems like it was prematurely released. I'm not saying that it's not funny. It's an important distinction I'll continue to make.
Hold on, wait for more people to join.
Some of this is funny.
All right, we got 5. Let's go. And I'm glad y'all are laughing about death because it's inevitable that we're all gonna die. You know what I'm saying?
Fun.
I've rewired my brain to think about death completely differently, you know? Like if my doctor's like, you have 5 months to live. So you're saying I don't have to pay this medical bill. I mean, what you gonna do?
Again, funny sketch. This is a funny idea for like a sketch comedy show where the doctor breaks the bad news to the patient, and the patient is like, so wait a minute. But like I don't know. It's not really translating, I don't think, to this medium.
Should have told me I had 10 years. Then I might have tried to have made a payment. But now, go fuck yourself.
And sketch.
I'm not paying you to not save me. I'm gonna use that money and buy 2 jet skis. Always wanted to own a motorcycle of the sea.
It's a funny way of phrasing jet ski, but again, we're stating a thing, and then we're repeating the thing, or we're saying something that's adjacent to the thing. It's not building a larger structure. It's just setting blocks next to each other. Like, and this is a block, and this is a block, and this is a block. And the only way they relate to each other is that they are next to each other, not that they, again, contribute to the other's growth or existence. It's just, this are also jet skis are the motorcycles of the fucking ocean.
So you're saying I should apply for a $2 million PPP loan? You know what?
PPP loan? Maybe it's me because I'm a cave person. This is my little cave, but like, I don't know what that is. You may want to follow that up.
Life is looking up, Doc. Next 5 months gonna be banging.
Now make a joke about an albino that says the N-word.
So you're saying I never have to wear condoms ever again? I could just be out here feeling everything, all right? So you're saying I should propose to my ex and tell her I'll marry her in a year?
Another block next to the other blocks, none of which are touching each other. They're just similar looking blocks.
Yeah, baby, it's me. It's back on. I'm sorry, I was an asshole. Let's get married a year from now.
Repeating.
How you know I only got 5 months to live?
Another block.
And she's like, I was on your IG Live this morning.
That's a block on the next row up, because that's a fucking callback. At least now they have reason to all exist next to each other. There's one block on the second layer. He's been setting up this, like for nine blocks. It's only been one layer. Now this IG Live thing, it's another one on there. There are like 3 minutes left in this, so he's really needs to pull up. He's gonna nosedive.
But for real, if I only have 5 months to live, when I'm dying, if y'all want to pull up and come through and help me celebrate the last 5 months of my life with me, come through, let's party, let's have some fucking fun. You know what I'm saying?
Is he Bert Kreischerring right now? Is he like, when I die, it's gonna be so sad. Like, when I die, let's party. It's like, aren't you like 43 or something? Like, okay. Let's hear him out.
That's the way to do it. You know? Like, don't be that guy that comes through moping, like, I can't believe you're dying. I know, motherfucker, I told you. You're crying more than when they told me. I only got 5 months. Let's not waste this shit. Let's fucking party.
What is he doing? This is so weird. My God, he's relying so heavily on this one concept. Now there's too many blocks on one block. It's stacked, it's too high. It's like, okay, but it's like the block of, what if I were to have to die in 5 months? Started off as then I don't have to pay the doctor. But also, make sure it's a party. And dude, don't be sad about it. This is so weird.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. I'm gonna party so hard, I'm gonna die in 4 months.
This would be funny material if he was dying, but this is all weird hypothetical.
Like, cause of death, too much fun. Even the niggas that's hanging out with me go, man, I'm glad that nigga died, man.
This could be a sketch too. Maybe that's where, you know what? And he does have those that show on Netflix or whatever. I think he's probably, I'm not saying he's a great writer or anything, but a lot of these concepts that he's introduced would be very funny in an episode of comedy. Writer times 24. Oh, okay. Yep. Co-producer on Friends from College. Consulting producer. Does a lot of producing. Segment producer. Anyway, so I think maybe his shows are funny because a lot of these concepts would translate very well to 30-minute episodes of like, oh, this character is supposed to die in 5 months, and then that one character, he calls everyone over, and one character's very sad, and then he has his monologue like, you're crying more than I cried when I found out. Let's not waste your time doing this. Let's party. And then when he finally dies, one of his friends are like, oh, man, I'm so glad he dead. Like, I miss him, but I'm glad he's dead. Like, because I'm tired from partying so hard. But again, as a hypothetical told in this particular fashion, on the medium of, like, stand-up comedy, maybe I'm being a bitch about it. It just really doesn't really work for me.
I'm healthy. I almost died fucking with him.
Again, this is me remarking on the style of writing being presented this way. I'm not saying it's not funny. That's not what we do here on Critical Eeks.
Who snorts cocaine skydiving? Man, fuck that guy. He didn't even believe I was a black albino.
Callback? Ish? I mean, it technically is, but it is a far and distant call.
You can't talk about death without talking about reincarnation. You know what I'm saying? I believe in reincarnation.
2 minutes left in this. We have 2 minutes left. There's 49:44. There's 52:46 in the total. There's probably about 30 seconds to a minute worth of credits. He's getting into reincarnation with about 2.5 minutes left.
How many people here believe in reincarnation? Oh, that's good. That's good. Right there? That's good. That's good. To be honest, it's tougher for black people to believe in reincarnation. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, I can blame white people for slavery. I can be like, that's some fucked up shit y'all did back then. But just because...
Feel the room tightening up. Back to racial stuff. Room in La Jolla Comedy Store in San Diego, California.
Because right now, I can blame white people for slavery. I can be like, that's some fucked up shit y'all did back then. But just because I'm black now, doesn't mean I was black in my past life. I could be who I'm angry at.
Funny concept. I feel like I wish you would be exploring this more than the if I was dying in 5 months, but...
Like, I could have been a slave owner.
We get it. Repeating concepts again.
That could be my statue I made them take down.
Kind of nitpicky, but I wish there would have been a joke about that earlier so that this was a callback, because we are coming to the closing lines of this. I wish that, like, these were a list of... I wish this was some... When it's well done, the final few jokes in the third act can help tie the entire special together, and Brian Callen's special is a fantastic example of that. It's like a highly criticized line, but his last line in the special simultaneously ties acts 1, 2, and 3 together in a way that doesn't feel stretched and makes callbacks to all 3 of them simultaneously. It's brilliantly written in that way. A lot of these less nuanced takes where they're like, oh, Brian Callen sucks. It's like, I don't disagree necessarily, but that particular piece of work is good, and I can point out exactly why. Versus this, where it's like, I wish what he had just said, the statue that got torn down. yeah, we all kind of remember that that was a thing within the last few years, but I wish there had been a joke about it. Maybe there was that got taken out. But I think it would be far more satisfying as an audience member to feel this line connect everything else. And I'm watching him in real time fail to do that.
And they say when you fuck up in your past life, when you come back, your next life is harder. So, as a former white person, I'd like to warn you new white niggas.
Oh, there is so fucking crash, dude. That fucking room is like, okay, we get it. It's very funny. We agree, and that's funny, and we don't have any other take on it. It's because they're not like cracking up. This is what they call clapter, which is where the audience is aware of the fact that they should be reacting positively, but they're not laughing because the joke didn't make them laugh, so they kind of clap. Pause for clapter. He's done a lot of pausing for clapter here. Let's go back a little bit.
I'm a white person.
Pause for clapter. That was laughter, to be fair.
I'd like to warn you new white niggas.
Pause for clapter.
That Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, we agree, or there couldn't be any other way to approach this.
Because if they don't, you'll find out. So no matter what race or nationality you are, black, white, Asian, Filipino, Jewish, or Palestinian, be good to each other. Because you don't know who you're going to come back to be. You know?
That's all of them.
You know what I'm saying? Because I definitely should have been a better slave owner. All right, that's my time. My name is Ian Edwards, San Diego. You've been fantastic. I appreciate you all. Thanks for the love.
Well, we've done it. It's a lot to take in. I walk away from this thinking, to be honest, liking Ian Edwards more as a comedian, but understanding that his capacity for writing a cohesive special is wanting. There were a couple of jokes that were very funny in that. I really, really like his onstage persona. And when those two things meet, when they conjoin, when they become one, when his natural energy and charisma matches the type of joke he's telling, and the tone complements the material, that it's fire. He's a very funny guy. When he's telling a story from a first person perspective, and like the way he's chiming in with his own dialogue, like his own hypothetical dialogue in these situations, it's funny because he knows himself, and I think in a lot of ways he knows what people think is funny about him. But not all of the material in this special reflected that. I said it earlier, but I think a lot of it is because it was very rushed. I think we're going to see a few more of this. Probably in the next 6 months or so, we're going to see a lot more of this. Of people trying to rush out a special they've been workshopping for the last year and a half as we continue to see this collapse of the blob that was, the air of the jumping blob you see people sitting on and other people jump on it, shoots them way up. It's a movie called Fat Camp where they spear the blob, and I think about that every time like something is dying in front of everyone. It's like, good thing that has now been pierced and we're kind of watching it. And as we're watching the air escape and we're hearing the silly noises, we're going to see more and more people trying to jump off of that dying blob. And the longer it goes and the more air it loses, the less and less height they're going to continue to get, because they didn't set themselves up for success. They didn't jump on the blob. They didn't get launched by the blob while it was still full of air. And they didn't take the time to place themselves in a way where even though there's less air, they can still get good height. They're just rushing their way to it so that they can try to kind of milk any of that energy, that kinetic energy that used to launch people sky high, like to the point where they would hurt themselves if they didn't land correctly, vis-a-vis Brendan Schaub. But I think this is just a good example of someone rushing to the blob. I give it a 6 out of 10 as an official Eeks score. Appreciate you joining me. It's been a long, arduous, but very fun journey. I will probably be doing it again very shortly. So if you enjoyed this, again, like, follow, subscribe, because we are indeed of a tribe. I have enjoyed my time here. This has been Critical Eeks, and in the meantime, be nice.